Hey everyone, Ramblin' Gamer coming at you today to talk about EV training your Pokemon in Pokemon X and Y. So, oh boy, EV training. I never got into EV training until Generation 5. That was mainly because they just made it so damn accessible, but compared to Generation 6, I don't think I can ever go back to Gen 5 EV grinding. So let's get this started off right and talk about super training. So when you first select super training, you'll go through a small tutorial that'll show you everything you're supposed to do. Upon completing this, you'll gain access to all 6 stats. After beating all 6 stats, you'll unlock level 2, and after beating level 2, you'll progress to level 3. Level 1 super training will give your Pokemon 4 EVs, 8 EVs for level 2, and 12 EVs for level 3. The problem with this being that as you progress through the levels, they get harder. Super training makes really nice work of the dual screen, using the touch screen to aim and fire your shots at a big balloon Pokemon while using your circle pad to evade. Your objective is simple. Using your Pokemon, you must fire balls at a specified area of the balloon Pokemon. Each time you hit that area, you're given points. Reach the target amount of points within the time limit, and your session is over. This isn't exactly as easy as it sounds. Taking a Pokemon with no EVs into level 3 training is a sure bet to guarantee you're wasting 3 minutes of your life, unless its base stats are already pretty insanely high, something like a Mewtwo for instance. From what I've noticed, your stats do help you out. It does seem that faster Pokemon can evade more quickly. Pokemon with higher defense lose less points when hit with a ball from an enemy Pokemon, and the higher your attack is, the more points you get each time you goal. Right after where the Pokemon's name is, in EV training, you'll see a little ball, and usually this will be things like it might show multiple or maybe a big one. I'm not entirely sure if this just varies from Pokemon to Pokemon, if there's a way to change it, but this does seem to affect your Pokemon while while doing the super training and how it's firing. For instance, I've run into a few that are much better if you charge up the shot a little bit. They'll do more damage that way, and I found others that are just complete rapid fire. Each group of the balloon Pokemon you'll be facing tend to do different things. Like the speed one will let off a rapid fire burst of balls. The special attackers, which to me are the most annoying, will fire in balls that home in on you, just making them a complete pain to dodge. As well as super training, there's core training. After completing a super training session, you'll get a bag. This bag is usually from the same stat that you just super trained. For instance, training an attack stat can give you an attack bag. These bags come in 3 different sizes: small, medium, and large. Small give you 1 EV, medium give you 4, and large give you 12. Simply select the bag you wish to use, and then tap the touch screen until your Pokemon breaks it. Boom. Free EVs. As well as the stat bags, there are other bags. Several will help you in your super training, either by making you faster or doing more damage or taking less damage, etc., etc. For me, the most useful were the double bag and the reset bag. The double bag will allow your Pokemon to gain double the EV points your next super training session. So at max, a Pokemon can earn 24 EVs. Needless to say, if you get a large bag from that session too, bam, 36 EVs. Game over, man. The reset bag will, of course, reset your base stats to 0. The usefulness of this bag is just really debatable for me. It was great at first, but the more and more EV reducing berries I got, it just made this bag lose its value very, very quickly. You still have your vitamins. There is also a juice shop. I haven't used this too much, but you can mix berries up that'll give your Pokemon anywhere between 3 to, I believe, 42 EVs in that stack. I recommend checking Cerebi for more information on this one. So, wow, that's a lot of ways to train up your EVs. How does the good old EV grind do in comparison? It doesn't. It doesn't at all. The rest of these forms are faster when it comes to training your EVs, or they would be if not for hordes. So first up, before I get into this, I'm going to tell you you're going to need a few basic things. First, you are going to need a power item for the specific stat you are training for. You're going to need Pokerus, and this last one is optional, but let me tell you, if you have it, it goes so much quicker. But you're going to want a Pokemon with an attack that can hit multiple opponents. Now, hordes can be attracted using Sweet Scent or Honey, so you may also want to catch yourself a Combee, or Combee, or the little bee thing that turns into Vespiquen, unless it's male, and then it's just derpy as all hell. Now's where things begin to get fun. Simply move your power item onto selected Pokemon with Pokerus, and use your Pokemon that can attack multiple opponents up front, and be sure to have your experience share on. Upon defeating the Horde with the power item on, that Pokemon will gain 40 EVs in that particular stat, and that's not factoring in the EVs that will be gained from the defeated Pokemon. Clearly, the best part about this for me is you don't even have to use said Pokemon you're EV training in the battle. We never had the option of this before because you could never have a Pokemon holding an experience share and a power item at the same time, but now you can, or you don't really have to hold the experience share anymore. This makes EV training so amazing, let me tell you. I found between 5 to 7 battles is all it takes to max out a stat. There are a few problems with this. I have found it very hard to find a good horde anyway that'll give you attack EVs. Generally what I do in this case is find any random horde really, defeat them. I prefer defense, just because I have the most Qualot berries, which I'll get to that in a minute. But defeat the horde, you'll gain the 40 EVs, you'll gain the defense EVs too, but this is where your EV reducing berries come in. Simply use these on the Pokemon, reduce the stat you didn't want to be gaining EVs in, and bam, I mean, every horde battle you get into, your Pokemon is gaining 40 EVs in that stat. So you've heard me praising them pretty much the entire video. Let's talk a little bit about EV reducing berries in this game. Just outside of Campfire Town, there's a berry farm. You have access to this with 6 rows that can hold up to 6 berries. Sadly, it's on Route 7 and not Route 6, so no pavilion confirmed. You get berries either from berry trees or a few random people, or stealing them from Pokemon, or a new feature. Sometimes in a battle, a tree will appear in the background, and using a specific move will cause the berries to drop off, and you'll pick them up after the battle's over. I would check Cerebi for the list of these moves. I know the ones right now they have are Air Cutter, Blizzard, and Twister, and I'm sure as time goes on more of these will come out. Of course, your EV reducing berries aren't going to be that simple. Instead, you need to whip out your green thumb. What I mean by that is you're going to need to start cross-pollinating your berries. Oh yeah, we're getting all into this stuff. Planting a specific berry next to another one can cause them to mutate. So when your berry plant is fully grown, you may find yourself with a few berries that you weren't expecting. Using surprise mulch will help guarantee a mutated berry so long as you have 2 berries next to each other that can mutate. I'd check Cerebi for all the possible combinations. The ones I can tell you right away are a P.E.K.K.A and an Oranberry will give you a Qualot berry, which is the EV reducing berry for defense. Also, there is a composter, there's actually 2 composters, that you can use to make up mulch, which will allow you to harvest more berries and everything. Uh, Again, I'd check Cerebi for all the possible combinations. Holy hell. EV training is just, it's so much easier now. Also, can't even believe I forgot this. On the bottom screen, when you have super training up, you can see your Pokemon's EVs, which stat your EVs are placed in. So, there's that. Anyway, I hope this has been helpful to you guys. This has been Ramblin' Gamer. Watch out for bears.